Hi there, my name's Lee Haywood and welcome to the Keyboard Geek WordPress tutorial on posts and pages. So we'll start off with posts. Now a post is your website's definition of a news article, or it can be a journal entry if you're developing a personal blog. Posts can be grouped into categories. So for example, if you're running a technology blog, you might want to have mobile phones as one category, computer games as another, and so on. Now within WordPress, posts are listed as default on the entry page, but you can choose to have them listed on a separate page, which will then appear under the pages list here in the right hand side. We'll do this later. I'll show you how to set that up. Which then means what you can do, instead of having the posts on the front page, you can have a welcome to my website style entry page. Again, I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. Now I use posts on most of my websites to simply publish announcements, to provide news updates, or to simply provide an archive of categorized articles. If you use posts wisely and you utilize keywords within the posts, these can help your website get indexed on Google significantly. So when you are writing posts, especially if they're news articles, try to include as many keywords in there as possible, and especially in the post heading, try to get at least 2, 3 or maybe 4 keywords in there, and then try to get as much information in the body as you can. Don't spam your posts with keywords. Google is wise to this, and it won't make very interesting reading for your viewers. But again, do try to utilize keywords if you are going to be writing a blog. Now when you add a new post to WordPress, what happens is the post that you've just written will come to the top of the page, while older posts, like this post here for example, and this post here, will start to drop down the page until eventually they go off the page completely. But you can still access these. You can either click the old entries link here at the bottom of the page, or you can click a category for post that you're looking for. Now at the moment I only have one category. I haven't set this up properly yet, but we're going to do this later on in another tutorial. Now if I click old entries, there's only 4 posts on my website, and the 4th post is the Hello World post, and this is now on the 2nd page of my archive. Now I can go back to new entries by clicking this button here, and I'm back to my front page. Now within WordPress itself, you can say how many posts you want listed on the post page as default. Now I've chosen to have the 3 most recent posts, which means anything above 3 will disappear to the archives, as I mentioned earlier, but that's entirely up to you. You can have as many as you want. Obviously the more you have, the more load it puts on the page loading. So as a rule of thumb, I would probably put a maximum of maybe 10 or 12 there. So moving swiftly onto pages then. While posts are categorized entries, which move off the page and get archived over time, as I mentioned earlier, pages remain static. They will always remain visible in your page menu, which is just here. Now a typical use for a page might be your about page. It could be a contact page, or maybe it could even be a product overview page. So let's just click on the about page here. Okay, this is a very quick example of a static page. Remember, this is not a post, this is a page. You'll see that the lack of a timestamp and lack of categories, pages don't get categorized. They're static content, there's no need to put them in categories. The only reason why you're seeing edit this entry at the bottom there is because I'm logged into WordPress as the administrator, so any pages that I view will be editable by me. Now if I was a standard user just visiting my website off Google for example, then I wouldn't see any of these admin options. Only if I logged in as an administrator do I see them. So earlier I mentioned that you can display a static page as your entry page and have the posts or blog entries listed on a separate page called, for example, news or announcements. You can call it pretty much whatever you like. Now, I will say that if you're going to run a blog, it makes perfect sense to keep your blog entries on the front page, because this is what people are going to expect to see. Now, your blog entries will be your main content, so it makes sense to keep them on the front page. If you're a business and you just simply want a news page, then you might want to put them on this on a separate page and have that listed under pages here. Now I'm going to show you how to do that now. So earlier on we installed WordPress, and we created a username and password. We're going to click login, and I wouldn't recommend you save your username and password even if you don't share your PC. I've only done it for this demonstration so that I don't have to keep typing it in. Now I'm going to type in my username and password, click login. We're not going to worry about all these features right now. We're going to cover this in a later tutorial. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you very quickly how you can put a static page as your welcome page and have the blog entries or the posts appear on a separate page. So first of all, I'm going to create the page that I want to display my news on, and I'm going to call this page announcements. So we click the right tab, then we click page. It's important that you do click page at this point, because if I try to create a page as a post, it wouldn't create a page, it would just simply be a post, and it would appear at the top of the list on the posts page. So right page, the title for this is announcements. I don't need to do anything else at this point. I don't need to put any content in here. I'm going to click publish. I'm now going to come to settings, and I'm going to click reading, and there's an option here, front page displays. Now at the moment it's set to display your latest posts, but I want it to display a static page, and I want it to be my about page. And for the posts, I want announcements. Now down here as well, we've got page shows at most. Now this is obviously blog pages. At the moment it's displaying 4 posts. Now I want it to display at most 10, so that, because I only have 4 posts at the moment, you won't get a old entries link, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a moment. So we move down the page, we click Save Changes. Now when I visit the website, we'll see now instead of pulling up the posts page, I now get my welcome page, which is the about page. Now this title can be whatever you want, you can change that, it's entirely up to you. But I now have a new link here under pages, and this is a separate page called announcements. If I click announcements, there we have my posts. And that's been it for the WordPress tutorial on posts and pages. My name's Lee Haywood. Thank you very much for watching. Please come back soon for more tutorials, and I'll see you then.